Yes, good afternoon, one and all. So, let us start with the topic. Formal letters. The other day, I started this one. So, there are two types of letters are there in English language. So, for the purpose of clarification, let us just don't restrict ourselves for only letter writing is a simple thing we can write and we can post it, or we can mail somebody, we can scribble whatever comes in our mind and mail it. It's not just like that. It also leaves great impressions behind those word beyond those words. There are certain impressions which reflect when people check them. So keeping that in mind, if we write and mail, that would be very effective. So it is not so simple thing, uh, writing a letter and sending it. It is very valuable thing with which many things will take place. So one should very strongly try for uh, bringing those ideas into in a coherence. You need to do all those things in a sequential order. Logical order should be there. You should put your ideas very coherently and cogently. Okay. Then the opposite person, those who are reading them, will be reflecting on those lines very positively. So when it comes to English language, there are two types of letters, I said. So formal and informal letters. In the last unit, we discussed elaboratively with regarding the informal letters. Informal letters are written to the friends as well as to relatives and uh, friends, and and parents. Yeah, relatives, friends, and parents. And formal letters are some exactly the opposite. We cannot write to any one of these things. So you cannot write to parents, you cannot write to relatives and as well as friends. We write informal letters to them, whereas formal letters we write to the officials, officers, all the government officers. Okay. We have the idea of formal and informal very clearly. Many times we discuss the word formal and informal. So let us do work on the formal letters. So letters are most among the most significant memorial a person can leave behind them. Uh, Goethe, writer, very important writer, Goethe has Wolfgang Goethe. His name was. He was from German, so the name is like this. Letters are among the most significant memorial a person can leave behind them. See, once again, letters are among the most significant memorial a person can leave behind them by Wolfgang Goethe. Right? So he defines letters like that. So definition: it is a written. Already I gave you this in the earlier class. It is a written, right? Wrote written. It is a written message, request, account of events, etc., sent by one person to another. Oxford English Dictionary defines it is a written message, request, account of events, etc., sent by one person to another. So it is a means of communication. Letter is a means of communication. Uh, Formal letters are affairs of official. Formal letters are the affairs of the officials and public in nature. In nature, what kind of letter is the formal letter? It is affairs of the officers, and that is done in the public. For example, a letter to a government official. Official is nothing but officer, a government officer. Okay. Then a newspaper editor, a letter to a newspaper editor, a letter to a principal, a head of the institution, a headmaster, and so on and so forth. So official letters are those letters which are written to the government officials. Newspaper editors, you usually, if you wish to be in the field of journalism, if you wish to be in the field of writing, you can write a letter to newspaper editor also, and principal of the college here and there for your different issues, different purposes. You write letters. A formal letter is written in a formal language. So this is what it implies the meaning already in it. Formal letter itself implies formal language also. Follow a certain stipulated format. You need to here follow some stipulated format. Okay. Letters written for official purposes, to authorities, to dignitaries, to colleagues, to seniors, etc. Letters written for officials, official purposes. These letters, formal letters, you are going to write to authorities, dignitaries, colleagues, and seniors, etc. You write these letters, and not to personal contacts, friends or family. See, as I was mentioning, you cannot write the opposite. We can imagine of the informal letter. The opposite of informal letter becomes the formal letter. Formal and informal, formal education and informal education, wherein the time restrictions, day hours, and periods, teachers, school building, formal way of dressing, bringing books, bags, and doing some exercises regularly. That kind of same timings, following the same timings. That kind of education is known as formal, whereas informal, you can do it in the odd hours also, even in the evenings or in the early mornings. But whereas for formal education, you need to do these things in a formal time only. So when it comes to letters, the same thing applies. Formal letters are those letters which are written to the officials, government officials, or to the principals, or to the colleagues, or to the dignitaries. Whereas in the case of informal letters, they are written to the friends and family members, and also relatives. A number of conventions must be adhered. You should stick to certain rules. Adhere is staying with the abiding by, following the rules and regulations very strict. A number of conventions. There are traditions, conventions, rules and regulations are there, must be adhered, followed. 2, while drafting is writing, while drafting formal letters. A number of conditions you must fulfill as you are going to write the formal letter. Components of the black format. Black, BLOCK, it is additional written here, black format. Now the black format is the preferred format in the modern style. Black format is the preferred format in the modern style. Additionally, it is written over there. In this format, all the entries are aligned. Have you heard the word alignment? Alignment is done. Left alignment, right alignment, you see. Middle alignment. In the computer screen, whenever you are typing something, it asks you for alignments. Okay. Alignment is from where you, left alignment is the margin starts from the left side. Right alignment is from the right, it comes back side, and in the middle you start in the middle alignment is there. So in this format is black format, all the entries which you are going to write in a formal way are aligned to the left margin, you in the traditional way of writing letters, you used to shift from left to right and right to left alignments. But here in the black format, no need of shifting from left to right or right to left alignments. Only you are going to restrict yourself to the left alignment only for all the necessary components. In this format, all the entries are aligned to the left margin. Various parts of formal matters are as follows. Okay, sender's address, date, inside address, salutation, subject, body, complimentary close, signature, reference numbers, attention line, enclosures, copies. All these things will be, there in a formal letter. You need to keep in mind all these things. Sender's address, then date, inside address to whom you are writing, and then salutation will be there. Subject, with regarding what is the subject matter, subject, body, and then complimentary close like in informal letter, signature, reference numbers. Here and there we come across when you are writing to officials, when you are analyzing some important letter of the officials, you will also have the reference numbers. And attention line will be there. And then enclosures, what are the things need to be included in the letter, enclosures, and copies. To whom are you sending these copies? In the formal letters, you find all these things. The proceeding of the government or order of the government will give you clear-cut information with regarding all these things. We will see. It is very, very important thing to know writing formal letters. It will improvise, definitely, it will improvise your writing skills, drafting abilities. If you have the complete command of writing letters, it will give you a lot of confidence. It will provide you energy. Okay, then parts of the formal letter. Sender's address. Already we discussed this in the earlier class also, that is when I was teaching you informal letter. But still, let us once more get into contact with these things, because they are very, very important. Writing letter, or you may be doing a job in some multinational company or in big industry. Still you need to follow formal ways of writing letters and formal ways of addressing people or speaking to people. Okay, so very, very important things. And the people are the persons, those who have extra ability in the language. You can handle your content, your matter in a very, very perfect way when compared to the persons, those who may not manage the language in a clear-cut way. Those who are able to use the language in an efficient way can also manipulate things in a perfect way. So here you need to understand these things. It will be very useful for your whole lifetime if you learn proper way of writing letters, because you are going to be recruited somewhere in multinational companies or in any place where you are working. That will definitely help you out. Placed on the sender's address placed on the top left corner of the page. So everything is aligned to the left margin, no? So left top, sender's address, not punctuated. I told you with regarding punctuational marks, if you use in one place, you have to go on using, but no need of using any punctuational marks. Is omitted of if written on the letterheads. If this one is written, sender's address already is there on the letter pad. If it is there already written, letter pen already, these things are recorded. Some printed letterheads will come in some occasions. At that time, you don't write again the address of the sender's address. Okay, then date. Okay, date is placed below the sender's address. First one is sender's address, then the date. For example, July 11th, July 2021. Or you can also go for placing a comma over here. This is apostrophe sender's address. Okay, this is apostrophe. You remember this one. This is apostrophe. It's not comma. If you wish, you can here punctuate comma, but as you wish. Inside address, address of the receiver. First you are writing the address of the sender, then you are placing date, then you are writing inside address, address of the receiver, who is going to receive that mail or that letter, formal letter. Place it on the left below the line of the date, exactly below the line of the date. First comes the sender's address, then comes the date, then comes the inside address. Inside address is nothing but address of the receiver, placed on the left below the line of date. Exactly everything comes on to the left margin only. Everything will be aligned to the left margin. In black format, everything is aligned to the left side only. Sender's address, date, and inside address, not punctuated. Each line starts on the left margin. See, everything like this only. Everything like this only. Everything starts with the left margin only. Then salutation. Salutation is nothing but greeting. To government officer, government official, how do you greet? How do you salute? Salutation. If an organization is addressed, use dear sir or dear sirs or sometimes dear madam. That is, if you do not know the person to whom the letter is sent. Okay, when you are very clear about the person or the name of that person, name of that head of the institution, then you can mention his name if it is so. Otherwise, what you need to write is, when you do not know the person to whom you are addressing these things, then you need to write only dear sir, dear sirs. Maybe plural, they may be in maybe more than one. So sirs, dear madam. Okay, but if you know, you can also mention the name also. If you know the person, write the name accompanied by title, like this. Imagine, dear Miss Uma, dear Miss Uma, dear Dr. Sundar, dear Dr. Sundar. If you know the names, you address like this. If you do not know any one of these things, both these things do not come. Dear Miss Uma, dear Dr. Sundar. Okay. If you do not know, you are going to write like this. If you know, you are going to write like this. So take care of this one. Then body. As we know, and we have been discussing many a times, that the body of the letter is very, very important one, and the main part of the formal letter is the body of the letter. It is main part. Brief. See, these days brevity is the essence of life, we talk, and ABC is the principle people follow in many situations. What is ABC? A stands for accuracy, B stands for brevity. Brevity is the soul of many things. Brevity is, concise, very small in size. Brevity. A is for accuracy, B is for brevity, and C is for clarity. Anything which you are writing should be accurate, brief, and clear. So the formal letter should be brief, should be clear, and concise. To the point. To the point. Okay. Written information being conveyed. Okay. So brief, clear, and concise information should be given. Be polite. Be polite. Even if you are refusing an offer or complaining against a service, etc., you need to maintain your politeness. Even though you are refusing an offer or complaining against some service, some person, some XYZ, you need to be polite. Politeness costs nothing. Rather, it is added advantage. It gives you some fetching. It will give you some, good. It will provide you some extra balancing thing. Avoid archaic expressions. Archaic are old. Archaic are old expressions, are cliches, unnecessary extravaganzas. Avoid archaic expressions or cliches. Body of the letter, then introduction. How it should be. Introduction should be there. Main reason to write the letter should be there, and then conclusion. You can divide it into body of the letter into 3 parts: introduction, main reason to write the letter, and then conclusion. Then complimentary close. Dear sir or madam. Then the complimentary close is yours faithfully. Yours faithfully. Remember, this Y should be capital. Most of us bend this Y like this. In a stylish way, we feel to write Y by making it cross, but it should be written in this way only. And no apostrophe either on yes or R is required. No apostrophe is needed. Dear madam or dear sir, when you are writing this, yours faithfully is the appropriate complimentary close. Dear Mr. Razu or dear Miss Uma, yours sincerely is enough for this. Yours sincerely. When you are writing to unknown persons, you should be very, very careful writing, saying that yours faithfully. But when you are writing to known persons like Raju or Uma, you are going to make use of yours sincerely. Okay, that is, be specific with regarding these things. Avoid outdated or absolute. OB, LO, SO, OB, SO, LUTE. Absolute expressions, outdated expressions, old or archaic expressions. Avoid outdated expressions such as yours obedient servant, yours obedient servant, yours respectfully, as they are considered old fashioned. Now we are no more using these things. We are not in the 1970s, 80s or 1990s. You are in the 21st century, and we are in the great era, so no need of writing all these old things. Then after complementary clause, signature is a must. Signature is a must. Full signature and name. Full signature and name. Full signature, you need to keep your full signature, preferably in capitals. Your name should be written in the capitals. Full signature and name, preferably in capitals. Designation in the next line. If you wish, you can write here the designation. Name of the organization may be mentioned. If you wish, you can also mention the name of the organization where you are writing. So reference number, parts of the formal letter used by organizations. Organizations have numbers, their own numbers, so they go for the references. Help in filing according to the subject. Help in filing according to the subject. Reference numbers are used in the organization. Help in filing according to the subject. For what recruitment purpose, or for elevation purpose, or from promotion purpose, different files will be there. They will be placed according to the need of the situation. Placed above the sender's address. This reference number should be placed above the sender's address at the top. If it is there, so at the top of the left margin, reference number will be written. Reference number, letter pad, sometimes certain letters are directly written on the letter pads. You will have letter pad, you directly some number is written, and then some name of the sender is also directly printed on those letter pads. So at that, in such cases, no need of writing reference number. Or else, where do you write? At the top of the left side corner, left side alignment, left side alignment, you write the number. Then attention line appears above the salutation. Attention line appears above the salutation line. In large organizations, only this sort of attention line will be there. In large organization, contains name of the receiver. Contains name of the receiver. Helps receiving easier. Helps receiving easier. Attention line will be there. Enclosures. Left hand margin below signature line. All the things we are aligning towards the left only. So left hand margin below signature line, you write enclosures in the form of a list. For example, number 1, budget for 2020 and 21. Then auditor's report. Number 3, something. Number 4, something else. So like this, you can go on writing the enclosures. Enclosure 1, 2, 3. Okay. And copies. What is the sense? What is the meaning? What are these parts of the letters? Copies. Where do you write, or what do you understand by copies? Below the list of enclosures, see, we have been seeing all these things in the sequential order, and all the things are aligned to the left side of the margin, and nothing is written on the right side of the paper or right side margin. You are not going to align anything. In the middle also, you are not going to do anything. Everything is getting started with the left margin only. So reference number, attention line, then comes the enclosures. After enclosure comes copies. Below the list of enclosures, if copies are going to other persons, organizations, etc. At a time, if you want to send it to number of people, if an order of a government comes, in that one, what is mentioned usually, copy to the head of the institution, or the copy to the principal, and copy to the paying authorities, ATO or STO, because he has to get the salary if he is being recruited by the government, and copy to the higher authority, RJD or something. So number of copy to the individual, the person who is going to receive the job, who is going to work as an employee in the organization. The copy will be given to the individual, the copy will be given to the head of the institution, the copy will be given to the finance institution, because they have to prepare the bills and all those things. So enclosure, after enclosures you will write copies, to whom these copies are going to be given. So this is nothing but number of copies. Okay. Then let us see format of a formal letter. This is the format. Take the copy of it one. Then see it, how it is going to work. Reference number, because if there is a big organization, it will have its own reference number, and sometimes these things will be these sender's address will be already written on. If it is a letter pad, everything will be written. So reference number comes in the first position, then sender's address. This is apostrophe, I say senders. Okay, senders. Address of the sender. Sender's address means address of the sender. Then you write something, and then date. Okay, date you are going to write 11th July, 12th July 2021. Inside address or receiver's address. See, everything is on the left margin only. From here to there, there to here, everything is on the. There is nothing outside. There is nothing at the right side. Okay, right side. So inside address, then attention line, if it is there, this will be above the salutation. Above the salutation. When I was explaining the parts of the letter, reference number comes in the first position, sender's address comes then date, then inside address, then attention line. If it is a large organization, there will be attentions line will be there, and then salutation, dear madam, dear sir, dear sirs, or dear Raju, dear Usha, some name, salutation. Then comes the subject, with regarding what. Okay, at the end of the subject, you will write regarding. At the end of the subject, suppose if you want a TC, bona fide and conduct certificate from the college where you have studied your graduation, and you want to go to further education to the university, then subject, request for issuing my transfer certificate, bona fides and conduct certificates. Okay, regarding. After writing all these things, request for issuing, request for so on, so forth. After writing these things, you go for regarding. Okay, then this part is body of the letter. Body of the letter, this part. You are writing, as I mentioned, I am so and so, or the student of this college during the years 2020 to 2023 with the group, some group, BCom, and I have appeared third year examinations and also passed with distinction. Now I would like to go to the university for my higher education. Hence, I request you to issue the certificates as early as possible. And concluding lines, I shall be very obliged for your kind consideration, and so on and so forth. Then complimentary close, then signature. Yours faithfully, signature. You once write a signature, then your full name also, full name and designation. Enclosures, enclosed 1, 2, 3 number of things, and then this one, CC is carbon copy. carbon copy enclosures comes, and copies are carbon copy. CC is carbon copy. One copy with us, one copy. What we are sending should be the carbon copy, and number of copies also we will see. The uh, next class we will see all these things, uh, and we will finish the class in the as only 3-4 minutes are left over. We will try and complete in the next class. Is it okay? We will see and complete the class in the uh, next class. Tomorrow we will complete the class of formal letters. Okay.